Hello and welcome to episode 44 of Beyond the Finish Line, the podcast for runners of every pace, every distance and every goal. I am your co-host, Georgia. I am a 5-time marathon runner, a content creator and the other half of the Performance Project. Today, we are going to teach you how to get fast. So stay tuned for that. We have got our highs and lows. We are doing some would you rathers today and then all of the info on how to get faster for your next race. But before I get into that, let's introduce the other half of the podcast. Matt. He is a 5-time Ironman. He is an ultra marathon runner, a coach, and the owner and founder of the Performance Project. How are you going, Matt?
Georgia, considering this is the second time we recorded this intro, I'm doing okay.
As if! Why? You asshole.
Well, when you're the slowest marathon runner on the podcast, you need to be able to throw some shots. So that was my shot for the day.
See, I didn't even throw that one in there. I was like, I don't even need to do that. Just leave that for you, Matt.
Yeah. I'm letting you enjoy it for the next couple of months, mate. I'm coming.
Yeah, you're coming. That's all right. How's your Monday going?
You know what? Great Monday. What are we? I'm 11 days out from COSI 100 and the body is starting to sort of come around and feel good. So just had a really good track session this morning. So I'm ready to rip.
How good. And did you go to the pool just before you were saying?
I was going to, but then I was like, I'm going to go for a run instead.
And then you didn't.
Yeah, I went for a run.
Oh, awesome. And so, yeah, you said you're feeling really good for COSI. Talk to us. What have you been doing? What was your last long run?
Last long run was yesterday. It was only like 22 Ks, so like relative, like pretty short.
Yeah.
Like this I actually made a reel about this. This last week is like the toughest week of endurance training where all of that fatigue from the last month, those 100-kilometer weeks sort of like washes into your body and you've just got to like deal with it. So funnily enough, exactly what I said in the video happened. I'm 11 days out and I feel fantastic. Where yesterday I could have fallen asleep on the trail, like mid-run. I could have just laid down and gone to bed. And all of a sudden, 24 hours later, it's just gone. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. And I've just got now to stay fresh and get ready and travel down to Jindy and hit the trails.
How good. And so for those that want to actually go back and watch that series, it's your COSI 100 series. Was that
Project
episode
100?
10? Project 100, sorry, for COSI.
Yep.
And so that was episode 10, was it, where you were talking about that? Yeah, I listened
Yeah.
to it yesterday, don't worry.
Yep.
But yeah, that's good. It's a really cool series. You guys should go check it out on Matt's Instagram. It's in the show notes, so you can click on that. But yeah, definitely click through and watch those. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's been a fun process preparing for 100K. Like you don't know what you don't know, and a lot of principles are the same as marathon prep, as Ironman, as even 50K. But then there's also the unknown. So I can only prepare as much as I can. I've ticked every box. I've done everything. So now we just got to wait and see if it pays off.
Yeah, and so we'll do a big recap of Matt's 100-kilometer run after he has done it, of course, and we will also add in there some things that you've learnt because I'm super keen to hear all the things you've learnt in this training block. So yeah, I can't wait to go through all that with you. So stay tuned for that, guys, as well.
Yeah, the top 10 age group finish. That's the goal.
That's the goal. Can't wait to see how you do. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. But what about you, Georgia? What's been going on?
Big week, highs and lows in my week, some really personal highs and personal lows. My training's been really good though. I probably haven't quite stuck to my training as much as I would have liked to this week. I'm kind of trying to find my feet with the whole triathlon training. I knew it would be more, but I didn't think it would be more than, I guess, marathon training. I don't know. It's very different. It's not what I expected at all. There's a lot of there's no rest days pretty much. Like there's, a swim and a run, or there's a bike and a run, or there's a really long bike and then a really long run. So it's, interesting, which is fine. It's really nice to be doing something new, learning something new. I popped a post up the other day saying how great it is to just be new at something and be a beginner, which I'm loving, which is fun. Personally, my best friend got engaged yesterday, which is absolutely epic. That was just like highlight of
So you took the photos for that, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I mean, I was going to vomit the whole time because I was like, what if these photos don't work? Like, oh, talk about stressful. My heart rate before they got engaged was 140. That's my zone 2. I was in zone 2, just like standing there.
Just standing around, yeah.
So that was pretty stressful, but no, it was really good. She was very surprised. She had absolutely no idea, and I got some really great shots of them getting engaged. My friend Ian down on one knee, which was fun.
So
And
good.
yeah, I actually designed the ring, which is even cooler. So it's been a really fun month. Couple of lows, but that's okay. We had a bit of a death in the family, which was really sad, but that's okay. You know, there's not much you can do about that. So just navigating that. And yeah, the only low is just kind of finding my feet with triathlon training, just being a bit exhausting, but that's okay. I will get there.
Yeah. It's funny, like obviously I help out with a lot of your coaching.
Yes.
It was funny like hearing your feedback being like, oh, like there's no rest days and oh, like this is a lot, and I'm like, yeah, like now you understand like why I'm so tired all the time.
It's kind of like, it's like, how the fuck do I fit this all in?
Yeah,
That's the hard thing.
your whole world shifts, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of trying to just reshift how I would structure my training. So usually, you know, you've got to run and you're like, okay, it's an hour. I'll wake up X amount before I've got to get ready for work and go to work. Whereas this is kind of like, okay, I've got to do a swim and then a run. And then I'm like, okay, do I do the run in the afternoon or do I do the run straight after the swim? Or like, what do I do? Just a lot of navigating.
Yeah.
So
Triathlon's like a logistical nightmare. It's just trying to work it out, yeah.
Logistical nightmare. Anyway, that's fine. Not complaining. Loving the change in everything. And yeah, loving doing some new content. It's much more inspiring when you're not just talking about the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Which is good. And it also means I get new cycling kit, which is also fun.
And a new bike?
And a new bike. I know. I have got a very nice snazzy bike coming my way.
George has been a triathlete for 30 seconds, is on his second bike.
The first one just wasn't cutting it. Oh, anyway,
it wasn't pretty enough.
No, oh my God, no. I could be in one gear and it didn't make sound, and then every other gear just made a sound, and I was like, okay, well that's really fucking annoying. And I would have had to have put more into it than what I paid for it. So I was no, not happening. So yes, we have a nice snazzy bike coming. Oh, thanks to Matt who's helped me find that. So
I was actually working on it just before.
Oh, fun. It's actually with Matt at the moment, so he has my bike, which is good because that took out a lot of the stress of trying to find a bike because I have no idea what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think I found it in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Like, this is the one, I'm going to go buy it for you. And she's like, okay.
I was like, thank you so much. This is when I pull out my like, I'm just a baby.
Yeah, I'm just a girl.
Yeah, literally. Oh, anyway. So yeah, that's my week. But I thought maybe we could crack into some would you rathers.
They love the would you rathers, but we can do them.
Yeah, and they did so well. You guys really loved listening to them. So, you know, we don't want to do them too often, but definitely want to bring some to you sooner rather than later. Do you want to start, Matt, or would you like me?
I'll start.
You got a good one, I can tell. You got a look on your face.
Honestly, I've done some chat GBTing and it took a while to get some good ones.
Mine's a mix of both chat and also myself.
I definitely put some of my own spice into it because I was like, I know what makes Georgia tick. Would you rather your watch die at the start line or your headphones cut out halfway through a marathon?
Oh, headphones for sure.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
I thought you'd implode without music.
No, because if I didn't have my watch, I wouldn't know if I was like on time or if I was like hitting pace, or that would really throw me off.
Fair.
I do love music, don't get me wrong. Love it. But I would implode more if I didn't have my watch, I think, because I'd be like, oh my God, what am I doing? Where am I? How far am I? Like, you know, I don't know how they did it before watches, honestly. I could not cope.
It was pretty rogue back there where people just used to run. They'd be like, I'm just running. And like, didn't know how far, how fast, how long they were gone. They were just gone for some period of time.
I know. Do you know what else gets me, speaking of watches, is at the pool where people actually use the clock
Yeah,
to
I do
like,
that.
yeah, nah, sorry. I don't know how you do that. That is crazy to me. Anyway. Okay, would you rather run the final 5 kilometers of a marathon with horrible cramps in your legs, like really debilitating cramps, or run the last 5K feeling like you're going to shit yourself?
I've done both, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but what would you rather? Like, which is worse?
Oh, definitely. Wait, do I actually shit myself or just feel like I shit myself?
Up to you. Like, choose your
I'm
own
going to take
adventure.
option B. A cramp suck.
You could shit yourself.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's way less painful than having debilitating cramps.
Oh, I saw a guy online the other day that was like, the PB was worth it to shit my pants. And then
Yeah,
he
I
like
agree.
fully put the video up of his legs like dripping in shit. And I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
if it was for a
you
sub 10 hour Ironman, I'd shit myself mid run for sure. Wouldn't even have to think about it.
I just was like, you chose to put that on the internet? Like,
Yeah.
what?
I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd post that. Absolutely.
Oh my God, that must be a guy thing. I think that's every girl's worst nightmare.
I just don't think guys care.
No, you guys don't.
We've done some gross. Every guy's done some gross stuff. Like we're not too worried about it.
Oh dear. Okay, you're up.
Okay. Would you rather have to do every long run with music you hate, or do every tempo run in silence on a treadmill facing a wall?
Oh Jesus, that's a good one.
Thank you. I was happy with that one. That's my chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. Okay, so every tempo on a treadmill facing a wall.
No music in a room by yourself.
That sounds like hell. Or a run with like the worst music ever.
Yeah.
That's you've really got me stumped there.
Mm.
I think I'd have to go with the run outside, but with shit music.
Really? I'd go the other way.
Nah, if I'm facing a wall on a treadmill, I hate the treadmill now as it is. Then no music, and then facing a wall, like, why am I even running? Like, what's the point?
Fitness?
Nah, not
Like
worth
literally
it.
the only point of running.
Me, I'm like, why do we even run?
Yeah.
Jokes. Yeah, look, I couldn't do the facing the wall, no music on a treadmill. Like, yuck. I'd rather be outside enjoying nature with horrible music down low.
No, you don't get to. The music's on. It's just
How
one volume.
Loud.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. And
No
I
escape. You don't just get to turn it down.
It's probably like Metallica or something that would really like give me anxiety.
Yeah. Enter Sandman just on repeat. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my God, stop it. No, I'd still choose that, even though that would really, they both suck.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't think mine are anywhere near as good as that. Okay, would you rather have reoccurring niggles all training block or have one really bad injury that puts you out for a month?
See, I wouldn't say a month's that long.
Yeah, but like, oh, okay, I thought a month was long. Like a decent injury in the middle of a training block. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To be fair, I tore my calf in my last Ironman block and I was basically out for a month. So I've done that. I think niggles are worse because you just never really get a good session. I think I'd rather be out for a month, get fully healed, and then just come back and like get to work rather than just trying to like half-ass it.
Yeah, I thought that's what you'd do. But it's so true because it's like, I can tell you now, having a niggle the entire time sucks.
Yeah.
So I almost wish I had one bad injury, was out for like a month or even 2 months, and then it's just like you're all good.
Yeah, 100%. And I always find like even if you've got an injury, there's something you can do. Like if let's just say your hip was so bad like you couldn't run, you could cycle, you could elliptical, you could swim. Tear my calf, I could still cycle and swim. Like I feel there's always a workaround. So I'm going to take the worst injury.
Yeah, I would too. Good choice.
Okay.
Okay, your one, last one.
Would you rather run a whole race with a tiny pebble in your shoe or run the entire race with your shoelaces slightly loose but never fully coming off?
Slightly loose because a pebble would
too.
just drive me mad. Like a little
I feel like that was
rock.
an easy one.
Yeah, that would drive me absolutely bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
But I know what you mean. Like, it's like, is it undone? Am I going to trip? Like,
yeah. You know where like when your shoe just moves just a little bit when you're running and you're just like, oh, I should fix that, but you don't.
Yeah, or if it's like slightly too tight, and then
Mm.
your foot just starts to swell more and more and more, and
Yeah,
it
you get that
becomes
little
tighter and tighter.
tingle. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ugh, yuck. Okay. Last one. Would you rather only be able to eat pasta for your carb loading
Yes.
or only be able to eat bread? But that's
Pasta.
all you can have. So, like, you can
Yeah,
only eat
pasta.
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 Really?
Unless my only exception to that is if like, so I'm not really eating bread at the moment. I'll eat sourdough. I find it like if
I
I've
mean,
been
that's
gone.
bread.
No, but like, hear me out. I've been on like this whole food kick.
Yeah.
So like, whenever I'm out of an Ironman block, I try and eat as much whole food as possible because like in Ironman prep, we just need the calories.
Yeah.
So one of the big changes I made was switching to sourdough. Now when I have like a white bread or bagel or a
Yeah.
crumpet, insert whatever, I feel like there is a block in my stomach, like a brick in my stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if I just ate normal bread, I think I'd be sick. But like, I feel like I could get away with pasta. But if it was sourdough, I'd probably pick sourdough.
Okay. I mean, like any type of bread. So, yeah, sourdough. And I just
Okay.
feel like bread, i.e., sourdough, whatever it is, Turkish.
Sure. Yeah.
Whatever.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's more options there. Like, you could have toast. You could have a sandwich. You could, like,
No,
make
but see,
grilled
okay,
cheese.
see, when you say bread, I'm thinking like it's just I just get to eat this slice of bread or versus a bowl of plain pasta. You didn't say spreads, you didn't say sauces, you didn't say turn it into a sandwich. I'm thinking plain white bread or plain white sourdough, plain bowl of pasta.
Mate, you kill me
And that's
sometimes.
why I was like pasta, because I feel like pasta would just be a little bit easier to eat. Like it's a little bit less chewing and whatnot. I feel like after like second loaf of bread, my jaw would be getting sore.
Oh my God. You can definitely tell, guys, how Matt's brain works when he went that way and I went the creative, fun way that's like, you can do all these different things.
But you didn't say I could do that.
I
You said just bread. So I was like, okay.
That's my fault.
If I could have spag bowl, I'd eat spag bowl all fucking day. Like, what are we talking about?
Oh, all right. That is all of my would you rathers. Matt, do you have any more?
No, I don't. No.
No.
To be fair, I
Okay.
struggled to get 3.
Hey, speaking of carbs, do you know how so many people have sent me this week? Percy Pigs in
Oh,
Coles. It is like everyone is losing their minds. I can't wait. I have been sent this like so many times this week. Has anyone sent it to you?
No.
Oh, fuck.
I'm not the Percy Pig. You're the Percy Pig.
Yeah, I know, but like it's such a good carb while you're running, and I don't know. Anyway, fuck me. So many people. I've been getting them every day since it was announced. Like every day, and I had to put up a story being
so
like
over the top.
like at least 5 a day, and I'm like, guys, I know, I'm all on top of it.
I've never been. I don't even think I've had a Percy Pig.
Not even when you lived in the UK.
I don't. It just doesn't ring a bell. Like I remember what they are, but I just don't remember ever eating one.
I don't even know what they would taste like here that's equivalent. There's nothing
Just
that
sugar.
Sugar. But I have to say, guys, if you are going to pick them up, pick up obviously Percy Pigs or the reversey Percy's, which is just the reverse. So good. But there's one called Fizzy Pigtails.
It's the reversey Percy.
They're so good. Oh, and there's one called Fizzy Pigtails. Telling you now, change your life. If you like sour stuff, wow, life changing. What a great time to be alive. Oh, okay, we're getting silly. I actually have one more thing I want to bring to the podcast before we get stuck into how to get faster. Please do. All right. Have you been following the drama on social media with the official...
the answer to that is no, but continue.
No, I reckon you have. The official timing page for marathons on Instagram. You haven't?
Don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm so surprised you're not on top of this. So let me pull
Does
it
it
up.
affect me or the performance project in any way or this podcast?
Matt, answer that yourself. Do you think it does?
No, that's why I haven't been following it.
Okay, guys, if you haven't been following it, you have to check this page out. It is so funny. So it's called Official Unofficial Time. And all they do is they go on like mostly influencers, I want to say, jump on and check.
Oh, is this the one where they check their Strava times?
Oh, yeah.
Or they check their official times?
Yep, that's it.
I think I have, I don't know if I know there's a drama, but I am aware of this page existing.
So it's like a page that's dedicated to making sure people stay accountable with their marathon or their like half marathon timing, which is
Right.
so hilarious.
Which is also
So
wild that even exists in today's day and age. But
yeah, and it is crazy some of the people that they have like looked up and the difference in timing. But some of them stretch from like a couple of minutes, depending on like say if they're going for like a sub 4 or a sub 3:30 and it's like a minute and that means they didn't get it. Classic me, what
yeah,
happened
yeah.
to me. Or like some people are like 10 minutes and you can like properly see they've had a toilet break and they've like paused their watch
Pause their
and stuff
watch.
like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And so this page like fully goes after influencers who like are posting incorrect times on their social media, obviously for clout and to look better and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so interesting. I was actually talking with the person who runs the page the other day because I was just asking a question about something. And I was saying about how, you know, obviously the first or last year when I ran Sydney Marathon and I first went off my Strava time because I had no idea that that was just like, no.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I was like, look, I was uneducated and I had no idea, but now I'm educated and I understand. And they were like, yeah, we haven't been really going after people who are doing their first race or something, but we mostly go after people who should know better. And it's so interesting because everyone is really torn as to whether or not it's like, are you kind of bullying people for riding the wrong time or is this keeping the sport accountable? And so I want to know your thoughts. Do you think it's like good that they're doing this or do you think it's kind of putting a bad name to runners and making us sound like we're, I guess, you know, like just being really like strict and stuff like that? Like, what are your thoughts?
Firstly, I think it's fucking ridiculous, but let's put that to the side. That this thing even exists, the fact that it's needed in society. But let's put that to one side.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan, especially when we talk about influencers. A lot of influencers, like they're profiting, right? So like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that whether that's a sponsorship deal, whether that's I'm a 3:30 marathon runner, and now X shoe brand will send me shoes, whatever. I think if you're profiting or trying to profit from it, you need to be held accountable.
Yep.
I'm the same as like performance enhancing drugs. Like if you were taking performance enhancing drugs to enhance your performance and you get paid for that and you get caught out, then you should be put on blast. Like I am all for that. If you are just some person and you're like, I ran 3:25 and I said I run 3:30, like I don't really give a fuck. Like you do you, bro. Yeah, I think if you're trying to profit from it or you're trying to develop some form of branding around it, then yeah, for sure, be put on blast. Like you take the risk. Like if someone checks it and you get caught out, that's your fault.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it into like with the like, you know, performance enhancing drugs and stuff like that.
Right.
And yeah, I just thought it was so interesting. But yeah, it's good to know that they're not really going after people. It's like their first race. So like, guys, don't worry. If you go out there and you've run your first marathon and you know, you do a sneaky, put your Strava time up because you don't want to do your official time, like I accidentally did, look, they're not going to come after you. But I think it is great to hold these people accountable who are trying to say they got like sub 3:30 or sub 3 hour or whatever it is, like running New York Marathon without a bib or whatever. Like, I think that's awesome. And I also think it's awesome when they go after people who, like, maybe their husband is wearing their bib and then getting them a Boston qualifier. I think that's so amazing. Like, let's keep everyone accountable for sure. Yeah, I just thought it was super interesting because I'm like, I can't believe there's people out there who are like properly lying, knowing what they're doing, not, you know, not really understanding like I was, but like properly understanding that this is a no-no and like going to the toilet, pausing their watch, doing all that kind of stuff and then posting it online. Because I'm like, surely when you actually get the goal, like getting your sub 4 or sub 3 or whatever, that's so much sweeter. Like, why would you want to ruin that?
Yeah, I think like I go back to this. It's fucking ridiculous that it even needs to exist. Like I'm going to stand, I'll die on that hill. But people do stupid shit for money, right? Like if there is like money, brand, clout, whatever you want to call it, like people do a lot of make weird content. They will lie, they will do whatever to get that. So I'm not surprised it does exist. I just think it's a sad situation that it does.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like they fully comment on people's thing being like, you've done a 7.1 breach of like the bylaws. And I'm like, it's so funny.
Paragraph 2, subsection 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they'll like write on someone's post being like, verified. I'm like, please verify me. I I swear I got my time. Oh, the only thing I was stressed about, I was like, I got 2 different times for the marathon. Like Sydney Marathon sent me one time, and then I got a different time that was like 10 seconds longer. And I was like, I always just went off the first one because that was the one that I was first sent. But then, like, not long after, I got sent another one that was like 10 seconds longer. And I was like, oh God, the stress.
I also don't think they're going to like pull you up on 10 seconds.
Nah, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
If they do, I'd be like, well, literally, this is the one with the little fireworks on it that you get when you like finish the race.
Fireworks don't lie.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, speaking of races and fast times, do you want to kick things off, Matt, on how people can get faster? This is such an exciting topic.
Well, I think before we get into what makes people faster, the most guaranteed way to get fast is by joining the Performance Project. Guaranteed.
I think
we guarantee that.
Lightning McQueen shoes.
Lightning McQueen shoes and join the Performance Project. Guys, so many people didn't get into Sydney Marathon. And I know we did a big push saying we want to have a massive group Sydney Marathon. We are catering for everyone else Gold Coast Marathon. If you want to do Gold Coast Marathon, the ballot, is it a ballot for Gold Coast or is it just first come, first served?
First come, first served.
December 2nd. If you get into Gold Coast, we're going to take a massive crew up there, do a big community thing. If you want to do Gold Coast Marathon, make sure you reach out to the Performance Project as well because we will get you fast as fuck. Now, how to actually get fast as fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, seriously, I just want to say though, seriously, to actually get faster. I know. No, getting actually faster, it's really helped me having a coach. Like, hello, 50 seconds, 50 something minutes off my marathon time is wild. So having a coach is super helpful. I'm part of the Performance Project, guys. I'm not coaching you, but I will be your moral support on the sidelines.
Georgia will be there running the community at Gold Coast Marathon, at Sydney Marathon, at Hoka Half.
I will be there.
Yeah. So come hang out with Georgia.
Yeah, you not only get Matt, you also get me, which is arguably just as good.
It's definitely different.
It's different. All right, Matt, kick things off. How do we get faster? The age-old question. What do we do? Where do we start?
Yeah, so I always like to break this down into like an off-season task. So it's very, very hard to get quicker while you're trying to build endurance. So if you're training for a half marathon, full marathon, yes, you can. And especially if you're a newer runner, you get the newbie gain. So pretty much whatever you do, you're going to get faster. But if you've gone through a marathon block, maybe you've just done Sydney, Gold Coast, Melbourne, whatever, you're in a bit of an off season now. We really want to start focusing on those shorter distances. So that 5K, which we'd sort of link up with a VO2 max sort of effort, sort of anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes, something around that. If you're a little bit slower than that, you can shorten it to 4K or 3K. And then threshold, which is 10K. So anywhere from sort of, again, 45 minutes, 40 minutes up through till probably technically threshold is an hour. It's your maximal pace you can hold for an hour. But if it goes out to an hour 10, hour 15, not the end of the world. Again, adjust your distances accordingly. But they're the main distances we'd focus on for sort of the next 12 to 15 weeks through summer and then into like the start of your marathon block.
Okay, so I guess if I can already, you can already run a 5K, you can already maybe run a 10K, and you're wanting to get faster at those distances, maybe let's start with how do you get faster for a 5K? We've done all the work in the kind of pre-season stuff. Where do we even start with that? Like, what's the first step?
Okay. In the way I want to be specific with this. In the way you phrase that, you said maybe you can run a 10K. If you can't run a 10K unassisted or like comfortably or even with efforts in it, we really shouldn't be focusing on speed right now. We're still focusing on endurance. So build that fitness up a little bit. I'd want to be able to run 10 kilometers like very, very comfortably.
Okay, that's interesting. I had no idea that's that's something you should focus on before starting to think about getting faster. Is 10K kind of like once you've hit a 10K, then you can start going a bit faster? Or do you think maybe a little bit further than a 10K? What would be the or is
Well,
it all
it's
case
just
by case?
it is all case by case. Obviously, 10Ks can take different amounts of time for everyone. I would say like you need to be able to run. Let's not even put a distance on it. Like when we talk about threshold is an hour.
Yeah.
So like you need to be able to run an hour or up to an hour, somewhat hard, like 70, 80, 85%, 90%. If you can't run for an hour at 50 or 60%, like the paces aren't as relevant. You can, I'm going to sort of contradict myself here. You can always focus on speed. I would just say it is not in your best interest, right? I would say like if you're thinking about your longevity as an endurance athlete, I'd be way more focused on like just time on feet, building that aerobic base before starting to focus on top end speed. Um, that's my little caveat for that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you've nailed the 5, you've nailed the 10, and now you want to
Mm-hmm.
start thinking about maybe improving your 5K time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the 5K. Where do we start with that?
Yeah. So obviously I would do baseline testing. So
Yeah.
5K, all out, max effort. Find out where you're at. 5K PB. It doesn't have to be a lifetime PB. It just needs to be a current representation of your current fitness level. So let's just say, for example, it is half an hour. So you're running 6-minute Ks. Nice and easy. We then would break that down and go, okay, I would strip the 5K all the way down to 100-meter intervals. This would be week 1. And I would say, if you're running 6 minutes per kilometer, we probably want you running 5:30 to 5:15. And this is where having your training zone set up correctly is really important because we want to be really running at VO2, so it's zone 5. So I'd assume if you're running 6 minutes flat out, it's probably going to be around 5:30 to 5:15 is going to be your VO2. We're going to do 10 by 100 with a 1 minute rest, making sure we're hitting sort of that 5:15 pace. And then over the next sort of 12 weeks, we would progress that up until sort of 5 by 1K. Then you put it all together and you would run a 5K. And theoretically, you'd probably run 5:30 to 5:40 in somewhere in that window.
Okay. That's interesting. And
That was a lot, I know, but yeah.
I was like, I should make note of this for Instagram, but then I forgot what you said. Yes, we will. I'll definitely get this exact what Matt has just said with the 5 by 100s and stuff, and I will make a little slide for you guys so you can follow it. So, are we just doing that every week? Like, what's the time frame we should be looking at? Like, is this like a potentially over 5 weeks you could look at getting faster, or 10 weeks?
Most training blocks are 12 weeks, so I'll just give you like the 12 weeks is how I would do it is 10 by 1, 10 by 2, 10 by 3, 10 by 4, 10 by 5. So we've built up to 10 by 500 meters, which is 5K. Now, I would say that's where we're focusing really on that critical velocity. So making sure we're hitting those 5:15 per kilometers. Now we're starting to switch from week 5 to week 6. This back half, we're really focused on starting to lengthen out the intervals and shortening the rest time. So now we're going to go, I got to do the math here, 8 by 6. So 8 reps, 600 meters, 7 by 7, 6 by 8, 5 by 1K. So that's the next 5 weeks.
Yeah. And that's with rests in between.
Correct. So we would start at, you pretty much keep it at 60 seconds rest per interval all the way through. Yeah.
And that's
if you're feeling
jog.
a little, honestly, if you're hitting VO2 properly, you could just stand still if you wanted to.
I've done that before.
Yeah. If you're if you're feeling fit and you're sort of in a good place, you can do a bit of a float. But literally anything from stopping and standing through walking, light jog through to like a zone 2 jog, depending on fitness level.
It's just occurred to me that you could just stop and just stand and then let the time go over, like actually just stop. I don't know why I've never done that.
But like, I would recommend walking at least. But like,
I usually walk. If it's like, if I'm properly hitting VO2 max and I'm like absolutely wrecked, I'll usually walk so that I can hit the other ones
Mhm.
at pace instead of like the other ones being wrecked because I then tried to jog.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. Like a lot of people, when they see VO2, they go out and send those first 2, 3, 4 reps, and then reps 7, 8, 9, 10 are like 6-minute pace. Um, just hit the paces that you're supposed to and stick to them. Like you don't get fitter by doing the first 3 reps quicker than what you needed to. Like it doesn't stack up like that. Stack up by doing 10 reps really, really well.
Yeah, that's something I had to learn was really making sure that I'm hitting the reps properly and
Mhm.
not, trying to do real, as you said, like that's something I used to do is like really go the first 3 to 4 as
Mhm.
hard as I could. And then I'd really die in the ass at the end.
Yeah.
Whereas now I really try and focus on hitting all of them really well.
Yeah. I always like try and tell newer athletes like, and we sort of spoke about this in previous weeks where we talked about being judged, like for how fast you run, like the paces you put out, all that sort of stuff. If an endurance athlete wanted to judge you, like let's say I was not a very nice person and I like to judge people on social media,
Yeah.
I would not judge people by their first 3 reps. I'd be like, oh look, died in the ass for reps 7 through 10. Like that sucks. That's honestly, if someone was going to judge you on it, they would judge you on that part of the performance. So going out and sending your first 3, like you're actually sort of, if we were in that world, you're sort of playing into their hands because they'd be like, oh yeah, went out strong, did you? Like went out a bit
Yeah.
hot. Like they know what's coming. So yeah, I really focus on nailing the back half of those runs. Like that's what endurance athletes respect, and that's what endurance is all about: is finishing just as strong as you start.
Yeah, I think it shows good discipline as well to be able
Hmm.
to like really make sure that you're not going above what you should be doing.
What do
And
I always
so,
say, Georgia? What's my saying?
Matt, you do this to me every
I
time.
know.
Discipline is, I forget.
Good running
Is discipline
is
running?
disciplined running is
I don't know, mate. You really got to
focused
help me
running.
here. Focus running.
Mate,
You
how many?
haven't said that to me in such a long time.
Because you've
How
been
am I supposed?
disciplined.
Yeah, I know. So how am I supposed to remember this saying? You're like,
I thought it was like in the head.
guys. And do you know what I'm not good at is
Remembering shit.
remembering things. And trivia. Do not ask me trivia and do not ask me to quote someone. I'm horrendous. Okay, I'm sorry. I do listen to you, Matt. And
I know you do. Yeah.
I am, proof is in the
Yeah.
pudding here. I do listen. But
Yeah.
yes, showing that, restraint is definitely very disciplined. So try it on your next run, guys, when you're out there. Like really try and discipline yourself over the entire run and don't, slack off towards the end, like
Mhm.
finishing 5 minutes early, not disciplined. So,
Yep.
Do that. And then, okay, cool. So then we've worked on that. And then at the end of, say, a 12-week block, we would do another 5K time trial, wouldn't we?
Correct. Yep. And like the reason we want to focus on that 5K is, and I'm pretty sure I've used the house analogy on the podcast before, but when we think about your VO2 max, that's like the roof of your house, and your zone 2 is the floor. If you only do zone 2 training, your floor can only reach the roof. Like it can't go through the roof. Your floor cannot be above the roof. So you're putting a limit on how quick you can run. When we raise our roof, so that's our VO2, so we run faster. So we're running those 5:15s in this example. We've increased the size of our house. Like we've raised our roof. That gives our floor room to come up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's a good analogy. Don't ask me to remember it in like 6 weeks' time, but it's a great analogy.
Okay, no worries, Georgia.
I get, like, I understand the reasoning. I'm just anyway, whatever.
Can I add to the analogy just to like
course you
help
can.
people? Imagine, and this might help, like just sort of pull it together. Imagine there is a rope tied from the floor to the roof, right? Just like straight up. If you push the roof up, that rope is going to drag the floor up as well, right? So like, the rope's always got to be tense. It can't be slack. So the only way the rope can become slack is if you only do zone 2 training, and that floor just gets higher and higher and higher, and the roof doesn't move. The rope becomes slack. You do VO2 training as well. Raise the roof, pulls on that rope, and which actually makes your zone 2s start to go quicker. That's why in base building, a good base building block, we're focused on a lot of heart rate based training and VO2 training, not really a lot of tempo work. We don't really do that middle zone 3, bottom of zone 4 sort of work. We're doing zone 2 and zone 5, strong floor, strong roof, making them as high and as strong as possible. Marathon block, half marathon block, we're working on sort of furnishing the house, that inside part of the house.
Love that. I was going to say, what's the tempo equivalent to?
That's putting the bed in, put the kitchen in, where you're going to live, where you're going to spend a lot of time. You want to be comfortable in there.
Yeah, that's very true. It's a great analogy. I like it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Performance project coaching.
Shut up.
Links in bio.
I said to Matt the other day, I was like, stop plugging it so much. Getting sick of talking about it.
We want to be Australia's biggest endurance community.
We've got
Australia's, and we've got Australia's fastest growing running podcast with Australia's best running podcast community. We need to merge the two, guys. We're going to make this happen, okay? So
we're going to make this happen.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We're doing this for you. It's for your own good.
So I don't know where to go from here, guys. So we've worked on our 5K. Amazing. We're super, super speedy. Now, if we want to think about maybe improving our 10K time, where do we go from there? We've got an awesome 5K. We're super happy. Now we're like, okay, let's try and improve that 10K that little bit further. We're really putting into practice that endurance there. What's the next steps?
Yeah, so the reason we would want to start moving on a 10K, and I'll just for this example, I'm going to say the 10K and we'll just keep it at 6-minute kilometers. 6-minute kilometers, 10K, that's 1 hour. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
How do I say this without it being too technical and we lose everyone? Okay, so threshold is the point where we'd call it LT2 in like the coaching world. And that's where your body starts to produce so much lactate, so lactic acid, that it can no longer clear it efficiently. So that's where if you've done your VO2 sprints and you just got that burning feeling in your legs and your lungs and you kind of taste metal in your mouth, that's lactate. And essentially lactate is a poison. So it poisons the muscles to get them to stop because it's like we cannot keep this up and I need to stop you before you either injure yourself or kill yourself. Like that's what lactate does.
Okay.
Like lactate's like a natural governor in the body.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't have it, we would just run until our lungs exploded. Like or you run out of oxygen.
Yeah, it's kind of like your body's like fight or flight. Your body's like, okay, please stop now.
Yeah,
we've had enough.
Please stop or I'm going to make you stop, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly that. So when we talk about threshold, we want to move that LT2 marker on the chart up and to the right, which means we can run faster for longer before we reach that lactate point. That's when we do that again, it's very similar to the roof analogy. We're just giving our zone 3 and zone 4, so that marathon and half marathon, a bigger world to live in, a bigger house to furnish, if you will. I keep that analogy running. So how do we do that? Very, very similar. When we talk about speed work, it's still very, very similar to VO2, but the intervals are a little bit longer and the paces are a little bit shorter. And we kind of want to marry critical speed with some strength and endurance. So this is where we would start saying on, say, a Tuesday, we would incorporate hill reps. And say Thursday, we would start doing a threshold session. So one, we are focused on effort and strength, doing hill reps up and down at like a really, really high RPE. Not so much worried about pace, we're just worried about output. And then on the Thursday, we're worried about longer reps at maybe closer to using that 6-minute 5K sort of thing, maybe closer to 5:45 to 6-minute pace. Like we're really trying to like almost drag that 5-minute pace up to your 10K pace. Okay. 5K pace to your 10K pace.
And just for those who haven't listened to what our dictionary terms are, your RPE is your rate of perceived exertion.
Correct. Yep. So just a score out of 10 of how hard it is.
Yeah, so sometimes it is good, to go by that instead of like paces.
Hmm.
Is that correct? It's a really
Yeah,
good way to.
especially with hills, like if you're running up a hill, like let's say a steep hill, you might be running, and you're this 6 minute kilometer runner. You might be running 8 minutes a kilometer, but it is 10 out of 10 effort because the
Yeah,
hill's so steep. So sometimes pace, and you could use heart rate for it theoretically. Sometimes heart rate's a little bit slow to catch up
yeah.
on the hill reps, especially if you're doing 30-second, 60-second reps. Um, so I like to go with RPE when we're talking about hills, personally.
Yes, so do I. I like RPE. I think, it is a really easy way for me to imagine what kind of pace it would be because you're like,
Hmm.
I know what my 10 out of 10 is, and
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
that's your VO2 max, isn't it? Your 10
Yep.
out of
Nine
10.
nine to 10 out of 10. Yep.
Yeah, and then so maybe your 8 would be like your threshold.
Yep, 7 to 8 is sort of
Yeah.
threshold, and yeah, and then 5 to 6 would be like marathon effort, and then 3 to 4 is sort of zone two. You wouldn't really. This is where people make mistakes in the RPE. 1 to 2 is pretty much sitting on the lounge, like
Yeah.
that's nothing. Maybe going for a walk is walking the dogs is 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
some
yeah,
people
you've
do
got
a zone 2 run and say it was 1 out of 10. I'm like, well, no, it's not.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, living is 1 out of 10.
Breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're looking at your like 3 to 4, aren't we?
Hmm.
For you? Yeah, perfect. And so we're introducing some hill sessions, making sure that we're like helping out with both endurance and speed and stuff like that. Uh,
Correct.
anything else that everyone should know? Should they be doing like a bit of a longer run on a Sunday if they're wanting to, or are they just doing 10K, or should they be going over 10K?
Yeah, I'm gonna the caveat with these sessions is always you should have at least one sort of 30 to 60 minute zone 2 run somewhere in there, and then your longer run I'd be wanting to run at least for 90 minutes, sort of 90 minutes to 2 hours pretty comfortably during this 10K block. Same for the 5K block. I'd be like an hour to 90 minutes. Like that would be my long run for that specific block. Just I lost. I was words. Speak English.
Oh, okay,
It's like
cool.
Georgia doing her intro. Bloody hell.
Oh my God, what an idiot. Oh, so funny. The first one, guys, horrendous. Didn't
Yeah.
he? I was like making up what we were talking about today. It wasn't even anywhere
I saved
close.
it, guys. Don't worry. I've got it.
Yeah, you did. When don't you save me, honestly? I love talking about this sort of stuff because it actually helps me understand my training a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And even if, you are a seasoned runner, it is always good to, this applies to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you do have a really great 10K time and you're like, oh, you could always go back and improve it, or you could go drop down to the 5.
A great example, like shout out a girl I coach, Ash Wiseman. She's getting ready for Boston, and she hadn't had a coach before, and she ran. I want to say she ran 3:10 or 3:12.
I think 12.
3:12. Look,
Sorry, Ash, if we've just cut off a couple of minutes.
sub 3:15 for sure. But
yes.
I think she'll run 2:55 at Boston, right? And like she is a far better marathon runner than I will ever be. Phenomenal athlete. Has a lot of natural things going for her. Very, very knowledgeable as well. Like really knows her shit.
Yeah.
Started working with me, and like we just stripped everything back, and we've seen huge progress just from like going back to basics. So just because you are an experienced marathon runner, maybe you're extremely knowledgeable, that doesn't mean like you need to do anything very advanced. You need to do these weird cutting edge training philosophies. Like good foundations will always prevail no matter what. So I would say I would encourage people just like stick to the foundations for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Stripping it back to basics,
Mhm.
getting back to those sorts of things is so important because maybe sometimes it's getting a little bit too complicated and
Yep.
you're not making progress. So really dropping it back.
I see a lot of really good runners far better than I will ever be. And I look at this, like look at what they post on Instagram. I'm just like, it's hard when you're in my position as a coach because like it's hard to come across without sounding like a dick. But I'm just like, I just want to ask them like, what was the stimulus you were trying to achieve? What are
Okay.
you trying to achieve over this 3-week, 4-week block that you've been posting this thing? Because when I look at the session, I can't see what they're trying to achieve, and like you should be really 10 by 500 meters. Like you are working on your 5K PB. Like that is so obvious. And then you'll look at some people's sessions and you're just like, I just don't understand. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's that whole like, when they teach you like about healthy food, and it's like if a kid can't pronounce the label, it's like you probably shouldn't be eating it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of feel like that with people's sessions. I'm like, if I have to ask you like what the stimulus is, I feel like it might be like a little bit too confusing.
Probably.
Maybe like that's me personally.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that should be super helpful for everyone. Is there anything
Mhm.
else they need to know with improving their time, getting faster?
We'll just quickly run through 10K. I would do
Oh,
it
yeah. Sorry.
as no, you're right. I would do it as hill reps once a week. So going from 5 by 30, 5 by 60, 5 by 90, 5 by 2 minutes into then I would just break it into. I'm just trying to remember that. I literally wrote this the other day. I was really happy with it. And I would break it into 5 minute sort of lower zone 4 intervals. So I would then go to 2 by 5 minutes, 3 by 5 minutes, 4 by 5 minutes, 5 by 5 minutes. And then the Thursday, the threshold sessions start with 5 by a mile, 6 by a mile, 7 by a mile, 3 by 2K with 2 by 1K, 7 by 1K, 8 by 1K, 10 by 1K. That's what I would do.
My brain is going to explode after listening to that.
Sorry,
Wow,
guys, that was a lot.
No, don't apologize. This is incredible. Like, far out. How lucky are we? That's so cool to just listen to you rattle that off. I was like trying to keep up in my head.
I too feel I've written that block for 7 athletes, and we have had 7 PBs in 1 mile, 1K, 1 mile, 2K, 5K, and 10K for all 7.
So good. I love that. That's
a great
awesome.
block.
Well, guys, Matt is going to text me those sessions because I don't remember them. He's going to text them to me and I'm going to put them in an infographic for all of you guys and gals out there and everyone else in between who maybe want to see that visually because like I need to see that visually. So I'm going to make that look pretty for you guys and pop it on our socials. And
if you guys want, I am happy
sessions
to do a couple of free sessions every week and we'll do it in an infographic. You guys got to ask what you want. Like we'll do like a month of 5K PB or a month of whatever, and we'll put it out for free.
Okay, let us know.
You can also do our free to running program on the Performance Project or performanceproject.com.au, 0 to 10K, absolutely free. There's 3 programs.
So good.
If you jump in at the 5K and just ramp up the efforts a little bit, you'll get a very, very similar stimulus to what I just said.
Cool. Amazing. Well, jump on there. The program's really good. We've had some really great feedback this week on those, which is really cool. But let's jump into some listener questions. Christy has asked, your non-running friend just told you that they want to start running. What are the first 3 things that you teach them? It could be gear focused, how to get to 5K, mindset or habit stacking, etc. What are the 3 things for a beginner runner?
What do you reckon, Georgia?
Mine is go slower than you think you should.
Mm-hmm.
I say this to everyone who asks me. Always go slower. If you can't breathe or you're really struggling, can't hold a conversation, drop the pace, lose the ego.
Mm-hmm.
My next one is find a really good pair of shoes. I know everyone hears this. It is really important. Shoes can cause a whole heap of different things. So, if you're not comfortable, you're not going to enjoy your runs. And my next one would be, beginner runners. I don't know, fuel yourself. Don't, make sure you're eating the right foods. And I know you're only beginning and stuff like that, but I'm not saying fuel during a run, but just make sure, you're not like not eating anything. I think it's really important to get out there and like have a little bit of something in your stomach and eat after a run and replenish yourself. That's my 3.
Yeah, I've only got one to add to it because that was exactly what I was thinking.
Cool.
Run to time, not distance.
Yes. Oh, good one. That's a great one. Yeah, definitely run to time, not distance, because everyone's different, I think it's important that, running to time. Yeah.
If you run 8 minutes or 9 minutes per kilometer, for you to go out and be like, I'm just going to run a 5K, you're going to be out there for nearly an hour. Like run for 20 minutes, don't worry about how far you go in that 20 minutes.
Yeah, my friend's just recently taken up running, him and his partner, which is so exciting for us because we're like, yay, more friends. And it's been so great listening, like watching him progress because every week he's like, oh, I ran for 12 minutes today. I ran for 15 minutes today. And then recently he just ran for half an hour and we're like, oh my God, so exciting. So, little
So good.
milestones are good too. So don't
Yeah.
forget that, which
Enjoy
is
the
awesome.
process. That would be my last one.
Oh, good one. Yeah. Enjoy the process.
5 minutes is an achievement. 10 minutes is an achievement. Like everything Georgia said, like all those little, I ran a little bit further today. That's an achievement. Enjoy it. Don't compare it to a marathon or a half marathon or whatever. Or your friend.
Yeah, exactly. Your own race, own pace. Like you're not literally a race, but
Every
like
pace, every distance, every goal.
that's it. That's our motto. That's literally why we made that our motto, guys. That's all we believe in here. So that's awesome. Christy actually asked another question that I thought was super interesting. So I'm going to pop that one in there. She said, how do you think races can be more inclusive for beginner runners? And we have some thoughts.
Yeah. I'm going to be the bad guy on this one. Because originally, Georgia, we were like, oh, we're not sure if we should put it in because I had a pretty blunt answer about it.
Classic.
But I also think like that's important. I would say 99.9% of races are extremely inclusive. There are very generous cutoff times. Like just because you're not at the front of the race doesn't mean it's not inclusive. So the only counter argument I would indulge in is if the slower runners, when they get to aid stations, they run out of stuff, and like that makes it a really tough experience.
Took the words out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, I will 100% agree with you on that. That sucks. Unfortunately, like just kind of part of it. Like not a lot we can do about that, or even promoters can do about that, event organizers, whatever.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think races are extremely inclusive and extremely encouraging, and they want first-time runners because first-time runners turn into second-time runners, turn into 10-time runners. That's what they want.
Yeah.
So I would say, they're extremely inclusive except for that one small caveat.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely the aid station thing. It can be tricky. Like I know sometimes races can like start quite early for the faster runners, but then if you are, one of the runners who is taking a little bit longer, I know that they don't start till later in the day, so that can be kind of brutal. That it's a bit hotter and things like that.
But again, I would argue that's inclusive because imagine they started the slower runners first and then the fast runners had to run through them. Like that would affect their performance. That would be that'd be non-inclusive of the faster runners.
Definitely. Look, I'm not saying they need to change it or switch it or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just mean as in, and then it becomes like, well, it's not fair on the faster runners because then they're running at 3 a.m. So it's kind of like, well, that sucks for them. So I think, look, as Matt said, every race that I've ever been to, I've had a really great experience. Even my first ever runs, like ones like City to Surf and stuff like that, they cater for beginner runners. Their whole race is beginner runners. So
they run activations in the week leading in. Like they want beginner runners. They want new runners. They want new people at their events all the time.
Yeah, so I just encourage you guys, like, if you are a beginner runner and races do kind of intimidate you, maybe don't pick races that are like A races in the calendar, Go and pick like a really cool run in Orange. Like, I'm just speaking New South Wales here,
just
obviously.
pick a local race. Yeah.
Pick a local race.
Doesn't have to be Sydney Marathon, Hoka Half, City to Surf, where there's 100,000 people or 50,000 people, whatever it is.
Exactly. Yeah. There's so many amazing runs. There's always runs with charities or stuff like that. So, don't feel like you have to go and do the A races. Like, look at me. I was going to go and do Wagga Half Marathon. I got my bib today. I was number 29.
Yeah.
So like they're super inclusive, like they're awesome races to be a part of. And a lot of the time, like the event organizers are so excited that you're even doing it. So like they're really going to treat you well. So yeah, look, I actually do think races are very inclusive, as does Matt. But thank you for putting it in a more digestible way. Instead of being so brutal. Thumbs up from Matt. I love that. Okay, and last question is from Ali. How do I set a realistic goal for a race? Taking 5 minutes off my current PB is absolutely crazy for me. So how do I know what my next PB should be? Whether that's, and I'm just speaking for myself here, I think, whether that's 10 seconds or a minute or two, how does someone work out what the next PB would be?
I think, and we spoke about this a lot, and Georgia gave me a rundown on some of these questions beforehand, and I actually have been sort of pondering on this for a little bit. people are and we've spoke about this on the podcast before. People are unrealistic with their time horizons. Like
Yeah.
5 minutes off, and obviously Ali hasn't given us any distance, but a 5 minute PB might be unrealistic for the next 6 weeks, but is it unrealistic for 2 years? Like, could you be 5 minutes faster in 2 years? Or are you
Yeah.
just not comfortable waiting that long? So that's a really important thing. People put unrealistic expectations on themselves. It's something I deal with a lot of my athletes, where they just finish a race and they're like, okay, I finished Sydney in sub 4. I'm going to do 3:30. I'm like, whoa, let's talk about this and like, let's actually reevaluate. So the big one is time horizon. How much time have you got to dedicate towards the goal? How long are you willing to wait? So Georgia, you waited 2 years to break 4. I am still
Yep.
waiting to break 10 in the Ironman, and I am just over 2 years now. And I'm happy to wait. I'm happy to wait for another 2 years if I have to.
Yeah.
So there's that part of it. The next part of it is, unless you're an absolute beginner and you've just run your first marathon or first race and you didn't do a proper training block, you didn't have a coach, you just made it up, and you've just got all these newbie gains there waiting for you, 10 to 20% is pretty aggressive. So like, I would just look at, like, as a general rule of thumb, 10 to 20% is like a very, very safe bet for your next training block. Like, you could do it in sort of 3 to 6 months, depending on the race.
Okay. It's actually, I have a very I guess, interesting example of this today. Someone messaged me being like, oh, loved your sub 4 diaries. I was like, oh, thanks so much. That's awesome. And they said, oh, is sub 3:30 on the cards for you next? And I was like, holy shit.
Mm.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yes, I shaved 53 minutes off my time in 2 years, right? That was because my first block, I was just doing it to finish. I wasn't chasing pace
Again,
or time.
Newbie gains, like Georgia, when Georgia first did that her first marathon, didn't have me, didn't really follow she followed just some generic program, like all of these things. Yeah. And there was all this, like, we did some training, she got huge gains.
Yeah.
And then we look at from Sydney last year to Sydney this year.
Yeah.
It was 12 minutes?
No, not even. It was probably 3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes, right? So we trained a whole year to get 3.5 minutes faster.
Yeah.
So and that's what people like. I think people also don't wrap their head around. They just look at times and they might be like, I only work in 5-minute increments or something. It's like, let's circle back to Ash, who's doing going to run a sub 3 at Boston. Like, for her to go from 3:10-ish to 2:55, that's such a huge percentage. And then to go from 2:50, say her next marathon, we went from 2:55 and wanted to do that again. It's just like, it's so much better. So like 2:55 to 2:50 is still a huge amount of work. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
the faster you get and the more experience you get, the more work you have to get in for less improvement. Because like those 1% gains are so much harder to get.
Definitely. And like, look, Kipchoge, people like that, prime example. They're beating
He's
PBs by seconds.
Example. Yeah. He might work 2 years to run 10 seconds quicker.
Yeah. And look, guys, no one is setting the time that you need to do. Like, like for me, 4 hours to 3:30 is crazy. Like,
it's also 3 years like of work.
That to me, I go, okay, well, a realistic time horizon for that is 3 to 4 years for me. I'd be silly to think that I could get a sub 3:30 in this time frame. I would be working my ass off. I actually don't like that. Is just scary if that was my goal. Like, I'd be worried about injury, all those sorts of things. So I just encourage you guys to just set a realistic expectation. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Worry about your own thing. And look, any PB is a PB in my eyes. So, 3 minutes here. 3 minutes.
I feel like athletes also, they're pretty in tune with like what's realistic and what's not. Like, I feel like they know if I have a fantastic race, like, I know what I'm capable of. Yeah. And you get more in tune with that the more experience you have. But I think like for the majority of them, they're able to, like, you have a pretty good idea of what's on the cards and what's possible. So that you should know, like, you'll have a good intuition. If you just say 30-minute PB and you don't believe it, like, you'll know.
Yeah, you'll know. Awesome. Well, this has been episode 44 of Beyond the Finish Line. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you head over to our Instagram, Beyond the Finish Line _pod. Make sure you follow us and then jump over to Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever it is that you get your podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, download, leave a review, share it with your friends. We would be so appreciative. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful week.
Hooroo.
Bye.